Hey everybody, it's Carolyn from Crop Candy Scrapbooking and the Scrapbook School. Welcome to the very first YouTube live make-along. This is something that I'm trying new this year. Thinking about doing this once a month, so we'll see how it goes depending on what kind of response we get. But I think it would be something kind of cool for us to get together, excuse me, at least once a month and scrapbook. If you've been watching my series on how to scrapbook more in 2023, this is something that was actually designed to help people pick that one time, 1 hour a month to work on a project. And so this is the first one we're going to try together. So hopefully you guys have a lot of fun. I welcome your feedback. If there's future projects that you'd like to see and tackle during this make-along, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me directly at carolyn@cropcandy.net, or you could just leave the comments on this live stream video or in the platform where you signed up to take this particular little workshop. So I'm going to give maybe another minute or so for people to trickle in. And so in the meantime, just why don't you just gather your materials, and we'll just pick it up when we get a couple more people. I just want to give people time to kind of trickle in before we get started. I'm actually going to get my stuff organized too, because there's a lot of little pieces that I want to show you, and kind of got everything organized around here so that it can flow and you can see what's up. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. It shouldn't take very long to do this project. I'm thinking we might be together no more than 90 minutes. It might even be less than that. We'll see how it goes, depending on how far we get. So let's talk about how we're going to run down this evening. So I'm going to talk to you first about, just going to give you an overview of the project. I'm going to share some materials that I am using, and also other materials, excuse me, that you could use to do this project. I'm also we're going to actually make the two versions. We're going to do the rounded version and the scallop version. I'm going to show you the file in Cricut Design Space, just go over it really quickly in case you have not actually cut anything. And if you have cut something, but you might be confused about some stuff, I just want to make sure that you have an understanding of how the file was set up. And then as we go through it, you can leave your questions or comments. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and leave the comments in the live chat. If you're watching on the Podia platform, that's where you actually signed up for this little workshop. If you're watching there, there's a space for you to leave your questions and comments, and I will pause periodically to check both of those things. So if you see me looking over there, that's where my computer is, so I can look at to see if you have any questions or comments. So that's kind of how we're going to flow today, and yeah, so let's get to it. So the first thing I want to show you, just want to make sure that you were able to download this. This is the, I guess it's like the project guide that was on the, when you RSVP'd, you should have seen a link. It's right underneath the video view player. I did not put it there for some reason. That's where the system puts it. It's kind of crazy. But hopefully you were able to download that. In it, let me just switch cameras so you can see. So this is the project guide sheet. It gives you some notes, the materials lists. It gives you the schematics for both of the Cricut versions, the round and the scalloped. It includes a link to both of those files within Cricut Design Space. I also provided some examples in color. This is the black, I printed it out in black and white. But I provided some examples and then gave you some sketches. So I'm actually, tonight we're gonna actually use a rounded sketch and a scallop sketch to work together. And then after that, you can work on your own to make the rest of however many of these you want to make. All right, so that's that. Let's look at the Cricut file really quick. I'm going to share my screen and bring up the Cricut file. All right, and then I want to do it like a split screen thing so you can see an example. So hang on a second, let me get that there, and then let me go back to my share screen and split. So at this point you should see in the lower right hand corner of your screen the little gift card holder as well as the Cricut screen on your left, full screen. Okay, so this is the rounded version. I created 3 bases for you. You can easily duplicate those and create as many as you want. Interesting thing about this card base, this is not an SVG file. If you click on the layers panel, you'll see you can drop down, you'll see the score lines, you'll see the base. What I did to create these bases was use, oh, there's a silly little ad there, hang on. The combine function. So back in November, Cricut released some new functions that replaced like weld and I can't remember all the other ones, but what I did to create this was I took, all of these are individual shapes. These are all individual squares that I got over here from the shape menu. There might be a little delay. All of these shapes. And then let's just pull one, and here's one shape. And let's just duplicate that so I can show you. And did it duplicate? No. Sorry, there's a delay in the screen. Let me try that again. There we go. Oh, they're duplicating over there. So all I did to create these was butt them together like so, come down here to the combine menu, and then unite to create a new shape. Oop, that didn't work. Let's try it again. Oh, there it is. To create a new shape. So all of these shapes over here, I created. Now to do these angles here for the flaps, I use subtract. So I created a rectangle, I took a triangle, connected them together, and then did subtract. So this is something that you could do very easily on your own. The difference between this file, the rounded version, and the scallop version is that the scallop version, if I come over to the shapes, this scallop is what was used to create the flap, and again did like a triangle to make it like a half scallop and did the subtract function. This is only available with the subscription, which is why I was very wanted to make sure that everyone understood that the if you don't have the Cricut All Access subscription, you would not be able to use the scallop version of the gift card holder. But if you had the unpaid or the free version, that half circle was the rounded version of the flap, then you would be able to use it. If you are a paid subscriber, you can use both files. So I just wanted to clarify that for you guys. And then what I did was I just merged everything together so it wouldn't be confusing for you all. So this is why this is one solid piece. And the score lines, if you do not have a score tool, you can hide those score lines. And like on this red one, you see they disappeared, and then just use a bone folder to score on your own after everything is cut. But if you do have a score tool, you can just keep it turned on and just remember, and Cricut will prompt you during the cutting process to make sure that your tool is inserted. These two pieces here are what I'm calling the front. So if you look in the little corner here of your screen, the front would be the heart, red heart paper here to decorate that. And then this piece here, I'm calling it a liner, and that would be this pink piece here. If you're using double-sided paper, which like on this version, I'm using double-sided paper, so the inside of the gift card holder already has a liner to me, so I did not go ahead and put one in here. I didn't use one for that. So, but for this one, I did because it was plain white, and I didn't want the inside to be plain white. So that's an option for you. You also have, I guess what did I call them? I just called them heart and circle, but they're like the little flaps, the flap lifters here. The little flap lifters, you can swap out any image that you want with the flap lifters. I use those as sort of like, you can use the circle and the heart, but certainly if you want to replace them, just make sure that you stay within, I think these are about 1.5 to 1 3/4 inch size. Those sizes tend to work out pretty well. And then this piece here, I'm not sure what that was. I do not remember. Isn't that odd? Okay, well, I don't remember what it was. Oh, that's this one. Okay, it's probably past my bedtime. Yeah, I go to bed early. This piece here is what I just designed for you guys to demonstrate the unite or the combine function. So sorry about that. All right, anyway, so this is the Cricut file. So hopefully that cleared up any questions if you had them, and if you haven't cut anything out yet, you kind of understand now what all the pieces go. I did try to label them as much as best I could in the layers panel. And as always, if there is something that you do not want to cut, you can always turn off the little eye and make it go away. All right, so that's that for that. If you have any questions about the Cricut file, go ahead and leave them in the comments on either YouTube or Podia, and I will come over and check to see if we have any questions or comments. Okay, I don't see any, so I'm going to move on to the next thing. All right, materials. Let's quickly go over materials. So for this project, I used, let me go back. Let me get my screens together. For this project, I used, let's zoom out. Here we go. This is, what is this? Echo Park Company Kissing Booth. And I really like this paper because it is cardstock weight, which is what I recommended for the project. It's cardstock weight and it's double-sided. So, and it comes with a sticker sheet. So here are the stickers, and these are the stickers that I used to decorate the samples that you saw. Everything in here, like I said, is double-sided, which is great. The paper is a good weight. And just FYI, Echo Park makes these like journaling cards or cutaway cards that you can use on your scrapbooks or pocket pages. So, and they're also double-sided, so one side has the journaling cards and the other side has the paper. Now, the only thing about this particular paper pack is that it does not come with cardstock, which I kind of wish it did, But this is a great way to use up your scraps. In fact, the whole project is a great way to use up your scraps, actually. But what I did in terms of looking at paper is just looking within the colors of the pattern paper, because I didn't want to use pattern paper for all the bases. I did want to use some solid cardstock for some of the gift card holder bases, and so I just used the colors that I saw, the reds, the grays, pinks, blacks, and white for that. So that's how you do that. So let's look at, again, here are the samples. So these are the two rounded and the two scalloped, as you can see. This is I used glitter paper for this one, and then the other ones I did use the pattern or paper as the base. But the one I'm going to make tonight is going to have solid cardstock. Now, here's some other materials that you can use. As I mentioned, we've got some acrylic dots here. These are from Close to My Heart. They're pretty flat. I've got some more acrylic dots here. Pink and shades of pink. Buttons. I'm kind of into the buttons thing now because I've found them in my stash and I need to get rid of them. And so you could use these as the flap lifters. So instead of cutting flap lifters, use buttons. Flowers. I found these right before we started tonight, and I said, maybe that's an option. Another thing you could use would be stamps. So in place of sentiments, if you don't have any sticker sentiments, you can use some stamps to put the sentiments on your gift card holders. And also chalk. I like doing a lot of chalk and using these daubers to, add some shading to the pattern papers or the bases. Sanding. If you wanted to distress any of the papers, you could do that with a sanding block or sanding paper. Again, more stuff in my stash that I haven't used that I thought would be good to use. And there was one more thing I wanted to show you that you could use. This mixed media. So Glimmer Mist. Let me see if I can get that under the camera. Nope. There we go. So Glimmer Mist spray. If you wanted to just lightly mist and use this as a background, this is like candy apple red. I don't even know if they make that stuff anymore, but I found it and I thought it could work. Liquid pearls. These are sort of like Nouveau drops where you can put a little drop and it'll get hard and it'll act like these little enamel dots here. So these are fun. Other ways you can decorate, these are from scrapbook.com, Pops of Color. Work the same way as the liquid pearls and the Nouveau drops. Stickles, you can never go wrong with stickles if you want to add a little glitter to any of the accents on your page or the die cuts. This will work. As far as adhesives, the little flaps that come in on the side to make your pocket here, I recommend using liquid glue. This is Tombow liquid glue. This one is clear, this one is white. I actually think the white works a little better, but either one will work, and I just recommend that for the side flaps. For the top flap, I recommend Hermafix Repositionable. That way you don't want to seal this because you don't want to rip up your design. Just put a little bit of that there and tack it down. It comes like, I got this off of Amazon. I don't see it, like I go to my craft stores are Michael's and Hobby Lobby, those and Joann's. I haven't seen them in the ones where I live, so I just got these off of Amazon, and I've used Hermafix forever. So it's kind of hard to find, but if anything that's repositionable, for the adhesive for the flap will work. And bone folder so that you can flatten your score lines or actually make the score lines if you do not have the Cricut tool. So those are the materials. I want to just make sure that we went through those. So if there's any questions, go ahead and leave them. I will pause and I will check to see if we have any questions. I don't see any, so looks like we're tracking. Looks like we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water and we're going to get ready to make some stuff. All right. So we are going to actually, I'm going to start with the rounded version first. So this is a scallop, so I'm going to put this one to the side. And I've already got my pieces cut. I'm not sure which one of those I'm going to use just yet, but I've already cut my pieces, so I just want to show you how you would fold this together. What I usually do is bottom flap and then score. Actually, that's wrong. Side flaps and then score. And then my bottom flap and then score. And then I would take my glue, liquid glue, just give it a little shake off to the side and just a little bit, not a ton. And just down the center should work. And then just fold it and seal it. And you can probably use your bone folder here just to help seal it closed. You don't need a lot because it will spread the glue. And what I did was to make sure that it adhered. I'm not going to do that in the interest of this workshop, but what I did was put it under, you know, between like two books, something heavy, just to make sure that it sealed tight. So if you were going to put a liner on it, you would glue the liner down before you actually sealed everything. And my other one has a liner, so you'll see how to do that when we get to that one. Then I would take this piece, which is my front, and I would put it here. Now before I do that, I want to add something to it. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to use some chalk. So let me get the chalk. And like I said, I am doing this on the go. I have no preconceived idea of how I'm going to do this particular gift card holder, so I am going to use one of the sketches, but so here I don't know if I'm wondering if I should use my pink or my gray. My first instinct is to use the gray because this is gray, but I might just use the pink. So I've got this pink over here. I'm just going to go into my dot, and I'm just lightly adding some chalk. You could also do this with a ink pad too. And just lightly going over that like so. And the only reason why I'm doing it is just so that the paper just isn't so plain. Sometimes it adds a little bit of depth and dimension to it. Now, before I go further, I am going to pull out my sketch because I want to look and see which one I want to do here. And I think I'm gonna kind of look at this sketch right here as a possibility, because I see a sticker. I think I like with this with all my heart sticker here, and maybe this little guy or a balloon. We'll see. Now, as with any sketch, you know, you don't have to be literal with it. You can interpret it however you want based on your choices, your design choices, and your style. Now, this is just regular Tombow permanent adhesive. And just gonna stick that down here like so. And that's my base. And then, like I said, I'm going to get this little sentiment here. And this says, with all my heart. Actually, before I do that, now I'm thinking if I'm going to do that little heart, I think I want the heart to go down first, like so. Yeah, so I'm going to put the heart down first. Now, if I wanted to, I could use foam dots on here if I wanted to do some layering, and that's what I did on this one too. But I'm not gonna do that for that one. I'm gonna keep it flat. So that's cute for you with all my heart. That actually is a really cute sentiment right there. And then I'm gonna use these little buttons, and not buttons, I'm sorry, the little adhesive dots, and I'm gonna just put a little heart sentiment there, and maybe another one over here, tiny one in a different color, like that. All right. And again, I'm keeping it really simple, because if you're, like, say if you're doing this for, you know, I was thinking about, like, what are the uses for this? So, like, if you're, you have a kid who's doing, you know, Valentine exchange at school, then, you know, maybe you want to do mass production of these and have your child help you, because you know how that goes. But if you had mass production of these, you probably want to keep it simple so that, you know, you're not spending all night doing these, because the idea is that you could do them pretty quickly. So I just added a little flower there. And now for the flap, I don't know if I want to use this. Like, I kind of like the glitter. Actually, that's kind of cool too. I think it pops a little bit more. And maybe use one of these buttons. I don't know if I want to do the button flap or if I want to do this with a button on it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. Well, that looks cute, actually. You know what? I'm going to use just the button. I'm not going to use these guys because I've done that on the other ones. I'm going to use this as my my little flap. But I'm going to fill it because I kind of like, if possible, I like to fill my buttonholes. So I've got this stuff called waxy flax, which is it's an old close to my heart material. They don't make it anymore, which is unfortunate because I really like it, and it's great for, I can't even describe what it is. It does have a waxy feel, and it's like a thread. It's like a mix between thread and twine. But the waxy feeling, I'm not really sure why the wax is on it. It does allow some sort of moldability to it, so it's not just like plain thread. You can kind of mold it or shape it a little bit, but it used to come in pretty much every color under the rainbow, and I was able to purchase a lot when they were out, but they stopped making it, which was, I have a sad about that. But that's one of those things that I hoard because I don't want it to go away, or I don't want to use them all up, because I know once I use them up, that's it. And I'm going to attach this with a glue dot. So I ran out of my small glue dots, so I have to use these jumbo glue dots, which I don't like as much because I like the small ones. And then I'm going to make sure that that glue dot isn't gluing my button down. And the glue, this actually, it might be a little too heavy, but we'll see. Nope, that works. And I want to add, let me zoom in. I didn't realize how far away I was for you guys. So let me just show you where we are so far. Okay, and let's see what else. You know, it's kind of already, I mean, like you have that, you have, like, I don't know if I need to add too many other things to this because, you know, I don't want to cover up all of this nice pattern paper. So I'm probably going to leave this as it is. Certainly, oh, you know what I could do is I could get my chalk and maybe just go around the edge with it. I'm going to try that pink again. You don't have to do this, but just to make it interesting looking. Now, it may have occurred to you that you don't have to just use these templates for Valentine's Day. You can use this for anything. Think Christmas, Easter, birthday, Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation gift, anything where you are giving somebody a gift card and you need a gift card holder, this template will work. You know, the template does not have anything specific that says it's a Valentine's template, right? What makes it what it is the paper and the embellishments. So there's our first one. This is the rounded version. And I just like, where's my little Panera card? I just like putting the card. Oh, you know what I could do? I just had an idea. I forgot about these little flowers. I wonder how a flower would look. Aw, I could do a little flower off on the side here. Or tucked underneath. Aw, that's cute. Let's do that. Let's put a flower down. Again, this is where I would need my small glue dots, but I think what I'm going to do is cut it in half so that this is probably not the right way to do it. It's probably a very dangerous way for me to do it, but I'm not good with sharp objects. Yeah, because I don't need a lot. And just kind of put it off to the side there. And I'm going to get one of these little guys and just put it in the center. There you go. I wish I had pink waxy flax, but alas, I don't. This is our rounded version. You see how quickly that came together. Again, I'm not trying to make these like super high-end decorated. I'm trying to just, you know, this is like a mass production type of project, so just trying to get them done. There you go. So we have one down, and I'm going to pause and see if there's any questions from anyone. Oh, I found my, I just like doing this. There you go. So I'm going to pause and see if I have any questions. No, I don't see anyone having questions. Okay. All right. So let's put this one aside. And we're going to do a scalloped version. Just getting my materials reorganized here because it's my workspace is getting messy. Okay. So here is base for this. And these. So I might use one of those now since I didn't do one on the first one. All right, and let's look and see what we have from a scalloped. We kind of already did this one. Let's see, we've got this. I might try this one here. Let's see what we can do. I just wanted to explain this real quick. So this is what I would call an embellishment cluster. And the thing with embellishment clusters is that you always start with something as your base that's flat, and then you can build up around it using foam squares or foam tape. I also believe in doing clusters in odd numbers. So we're talking 3, 5s, and 7s generally. You know, it's not a hard and fast rule, but typically from a design perspective and how our eye works, your brain likes things in odd numbers. So that's just a design tip. And so when I do sketches for you guys, sometimes you'll see that grouping. If you use the title block builder, I go into that in a little bit more detail. And the title block builder definitely uses that rule of 3, 5, and 7. You can even go up to 9 if you want to be have more. I tend to stay in the 3 to 7 range. My personal preference is I don't like to over layer things. That's just me. I'm not against people that are interested in that kind of thing. I just don't do it. Especially on scrapbook pages, because I like to see the pictures. I don't like my pictures covered up by a lot of product. So I tend to be a little on the conservative side with that. But that's my personal preference. Okay, so here's my scallop base. For this one, I decided, let me zoom out just a little bit. For this one, I decided to use plain cardstock, which I am going to zhuzh up with my chalk before I start gluing anything down. So I'm going to come back over to my chalk. I don't know, which one do I want to use? This one, the hot pink, or I think I'll use the dusty rose. This is the outside. If you hear some scratching in the background, that is one of my cats trying to get in because the door is closed. And if you have a cat, you know that a closed door to a cat is the worst thing in the world that you could possibly ever do. Is committing an act of violence. In their opinion, they hate closed doors. My cats cannot stand closed doors. But if they come in here, they will, I guarantee you, they will jump on here and walk all over the project. It's even during when I'm making videos, it's like I have to try to make videos when they're taking a nap. But yeah, they're definitely, and it's probably both of them at the door. I think one attempted and the other one was like, I couldn't get in, you try. So yeah. So pardon if you hear any scratching. All right, so I have chalked it up, and this one, as I said, has a liner. I'm not going to chalk the liner because it's in the inside. You don't really see the liner. I just like to have it, but you can omit it when you do your Cricut cuts. It's up to you. Just putting that here on the inside. Okay, and then as I said before, use liquid glue here. You don't need a lot, very thin layer. And then we're going to fold. I like to use my bone folder to help smooth it out. And you can put it between a book or any hard surface. Now when I fold this flap over, you'll notice that on the sides you have a little bit of overhang from the scallop. You can easily just cut that off if it bugs you, or you can just leave it. I did on a previous one that I did, I think I cut the sides off. I thought I had one to show you, I don't. But I did cut the sides off, but I kind of like the overhang. It doesn't bother me, so I'm just going to leave it. And then I've got this piece of paper here, and I'm going to chalk again. These chalks I've had forever. You can see that they're all cracked, and I hope that's not mold. I don't know what that other stuff is, but I'm into the chalking again. I like chalking my die cuts, especially because, why does that little piece keep popping up? Because it adds some nice dimension. I did a video, let's say over the summer, sometime June, July, and it was a pocket layout where it was like a beach theme, and I had a conch shell, and I used the chalking on the die cut, and it really made that die cut pop. The shading and all of that, I loved it. So I highly recommend, if you have like flat die cuts, that chalking or inking will definitely bring them to life. Here's that front piece. I'm just going to put that right there, like so. All right. And now, following my pattern, we're doing this one right here. So we have a circle, so I'm probably going to use that. And then for my flap, and then I actually could do that too. But I'm not going to. I'm going to use it for my flap. And then I've got this embellishment cluster down here. So I think what I'm going to do for that, I want to do a border piece down here. And in my cardstock, they actually have these little border strips. So I want to see. Let me pull this out. This gray one would work. The X and an L could work. This pink one, actually, that might be interesting because it matches the liner. Let me see if I have a piece of paper that I've already cut. Has that on there? No. All right, I'm just going to use this. Got a little sticky thing. All right. I'm just going to cut this. I love papers that have those little border strip options because they make great embellishments, accents. Now, the only thing about them is they don't go all the way across, which kind of sucks because I would like to use them for 12 by 12. So I kind of wish that they went all the way across the page, but they don't. I'm going to get my trimmer. So I've got some excess white here. And just going to trim that. And yeah, that's good. And I'm just going to have it go across the bottom like that. I'm actually going to use a glue pen because it's kind of narrow. Actually, let's move it up just a little bit because I'm not sure. My sentiment's going to go. I'll just trim off the edge. Okay. Then I have this piece if I want to use it for another gift card holder. Okay. And now I'm going to look at my sticker sheet here and see. So I want something kind of in the center like that, like the sketch shows. And then we'll just build our embellishment cluster around that. So I've got a couple of good choices. I'm looking at the lips here. That could be cute. Oh, I need to put a sentiment here on top as well. Huh. Well, we've got this, there's a kissing booth thing. Let's see, February 14th, Falling in Love. That might be too big. Let's see. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Let's do Falling in Love. So we're going to, yeah. So let's do that one. And so if that's the case, then I'm definitely going to use the lips. The smoochy lips. The pink is not going to show up because there's a lot of pink going on. So let's use, well, we could use the red. The red is kind of small. What to do. So hopefully you don't mind me watching me go through like the thought process of how I designed stuff, because I didn't want to have to be overly prepared, because then, well, actually it's not too bad. There's also an XO on here. I could do that too. I kind of like the lips. I'm going to go with the lips. I'm going to go with my first gut reaction. So I'm going to do that. But here's what I'm going to change what I said before, where I said you want the thing on the bottom to be flat. Yeah, sort of-ish. Actually, this is very typical of how I do stuff. I always change my mind. Always. Okay, so I'm gonna have the balloon here be the flat piece. That's gonna be my anchor. And then I'm gonna put the lips on top. And I'm gonna use foam tape for that. Use this one. So how's everybody doing out there with your designs? Just checking in, see how's it coming along. If you're going through your own little design process as you're figuring out how you want to put these gift card holders together. Okay, so that's going to be right. So this is, the heart is acting as my anchor here, and I'm just building around it. So we could use a flower. There's still a lot of pink, but I'm not going to worry about that. Let's see, what else could we use? We've got a key. So like key to my heart, that might be cute. Like here. Actually, let me make sure that I still have room for my flap. In fact, I should probably just go ahead and put my flap down so that I can use it. Oop. There's a button stuck there. And I'm only gluing the top. It's cutting it close. I want to go up a little bit more. And then just make sure that this clears it too. Yeah, okay. What is this? I might want to use some additional buttons too. Maybe a red or a pink button. I don't have any pink. The clear probably won't show up as well as I would like it to. Definitely gonna, we haven't used these little guys. Yeah, it's just a lot of red. could do that. Got a little guy. That's probably, yeah, I like that better, maybe. I don't know. A lot of this is you just have to try it and experiment and see how things look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. See how things look. You know, a lot of design for me is feel. Like I'll put something down. If it doesn't feel right, then I won't do it. You know, I won't use it. I might go for the, so that's five elements. I might put a little, oh, the other thing about the clusters is you want things in varying sizes. You don't want everything the same size. If possible, you want to mix it up. So, yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these pieces down. I might go ahead and use glue on these. I am not going to fill these buttonholes in the interest of time. I'm going to leave them as is. Oh, I just lost that little center for this flower. That, then I want a little dot over here. Do I want white or do I want white? No. Yeah, so like I was saying, a lot of this is how do you feel? Does it bug you? If it bugs you, it's probably not something you want to put on here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good enough, I think. And then we want to add our flap decoration, which is falling in love, and we want to make a decision as to, do we want to glue it down? Do we want it to be up a little bit? Oh, I forgot my key. Hang on a second. Let's put our key. We're supposed to have our key here. I don't know if I'm going to have room for him now. Let me move this little heart. Yeah, I don't know. Sort of not feeling the key here. Yeah, maybe. Save the heart for that. Okay. So as I was saying, I'm going to use some foam tape for this. Okay. And I thought it would be kind of cool to have the key overlapping onto my flap. So my foam tape's got to be really skinny though to make that happen. And I need a little piece down that center. Let's see if I can just cut it in half. These scissors I'm using are no stick scissors. Highly recommend. No stick for everything, because you never know when you're gonna have to do something like this where you have to cut something that's sticky and you want your scissors to remain clean. And then this little piece I can reuse, so I'm just going to tack it back on there. Of course, all the stickies on my fingers. And I'm just going to near him like that. So we have something like that. And I might have a little heart or something from, actually, I was thinking about putting a little heart there. But I want to use a red heart, or a heart that's not the same color as that, and I don't have that on my sticker sheet. So I might have to just pass on that. And I think I'm just going to leave it as is. So anyway, so this is a scalloped version. Yay. And let's get our little Panera card. Can't find it when I need it. As an example, here it is. Let me just slip it in there. Hopefully, if you're giving somebody a falling in love, that you're giving them more than just a Panera card. I hope. So there you have that. So these are really cute. I mean, I just think they're cute projects, and they're so easy to put together. And like I said, your kids will love it if they have to do, they're exchanging Valentines, and for Valentine's Day, these are perfect projects for that. And it's very easy to put together. And also, as I said, if you have probably figured out that you do not need to only use them for Valentine's Day. They will fit any, zoom up a little bit, any holiday where you need gift cards. These little gift card holders will do the trick for sure. So I'm going to leave those up for a second, and I'm going to check to see if we have any questions or comments from anyone who's watching. I don't see any. So that is it for today's work along. And I'm going to come back on. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I had fun working on it. I had fun actually just sort of designing on the fly, which is not something I usually do. I always try to prepare everything in advance so that I don't look silly while I'm trying to figure out what to do. But these are pretty simple projects, so I didn't mind working along with you on that. So I hope you enjoyed it. I have another Valentine's Day project that's available on Cricut Design Space. I want to show you that real quick in case you're interested. It is a mini book. I'm clearing off my space here so I can bring that project over to you. It is a mini book project. Let's show it. So there's a video on YouTube up right now that shows you how to make this project, and the template for the mini book is available in Cricut Design Space. So if you want to check that out, it would be actually, let's see if I can find it for you on Cricut Design Space. Let me get my Cricut window up here. So if you come, it's under, well, I'm trying to figure, yeah, so it's under my name. So it's under my name, and there it is right here. And there's another mini album under there too, but the latest one is this one right here. And I did make it public, so there is a video, and there's 2 SVGs that are in the project that you can download from the scrapbookschool.com, and you can use that as part of the project if you would like. But let me show you the actual project here. So it's like a spiral bound. This was spiral bound with the We Are Memory Keeper cinch tool. This is one of the SVGs that I created that I've uploaded for you that you can play with. So it's a mini album, and the photos about 3x3 or 3x4 photos. This paper is from Simple Stories, I believe. Yeah. And these little tabs here I created in Design Space using that whole combine function that I was telling you about here. I'm using my buttons. And it has some tags in here that you can use and decorate. This is really cute project, another project you can work on with your kids. But yeah, just like some cute little photos, mini book type thing. And it's very easy to make. I think the hardest part is the binding and the decorating, but this is available. Oh, the other thing is that the little tabs, they have sentiments on them, and you can use your Cricut pen to create these. So all of that is in the Cricut Design Space file. So if you're interested in that project, you can go ahead and check it out. So that's all I have for you tonight. I hope to be doing this on a monthly basis. If, like I said, if there's any projects that you would like to make with me for these make-alongs and you have any ideas, I'm happy to hear them. You can email me at carolyn@cropcandy.net, and I'll see if I can put them together for you. Again, if you have any questions, you can leave them on the YouTube video or in the Podia platform. I will be moving things over from the old Scrapbook School site to Podia. I will be providing you with more information about that, but I'm starting to populate the new platform with stuff, so that's where everything will live moving forward. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you before we say goodnight. I don't think so. I think that was it. Well, I enjoyed spending this time with you. I hope that I've helped you check off a box for spending your 1 day, 1 hour for February scrapbooking. I hope that you really enjoy this project, and I hope you get to make even more. And we'll say goodnight, and I'll see you soon. Okay? Happy scrapping. Take care.